Unfortunately, this week was slightly red for me, and it did come with some serious challenges at the start of the week. Convincing myself that I didn't know anything, and that was causing me to kind of spiral in that I don't know anything, so it doesn't matter kind of mindset, rather than just realizing that I was only down a little bit, like I'm fine, it's nothing I can't come back from, and just to keep pushing through. To me, I feel like I have shown myself that I can take loss after loss after loss and still not like go full tilt mode and not remove my stops or not tilt and remove my stops. I have proven to myself that I can consistently freaking withstand these ass beatings and just stay in there. So I keep thinking like, how many more times does this lesson have to show up for me before I kind of like conquer it? And I don't know, maybe this time was the one where I kind of like figured out I am just trying to self-sabotage myself. Maybe me realizing that it's me trying to self-sabotage myself, that I don't know anything, is the weak point, right? That's the point that I have to get past. The point that I just have to say, no, I am on the right path, like I'm on the path, whatever it is. And as long as I continue to manage my risk and then just slightly continue to adapt and adjust and remove things that aren't working and keep things that are working, I will continue to progress forward, hopefully. And I just can't let that old self come back in and freaking destroy all my progress, you know? Anyway, currently sitting down 25 on the month. Once again, if I could just get this win rate up, I would be A-okay. 50% day win and good win to loss ratio. So this is actually the first red week. I had 4 green weeks in a row, and then this week was red. Start of the week was rough. First 2 trades, I'm pretty sure the trades were okay on this day. $28 long, a bunch of confluences, so it's good there. It was just a fake out. 2 minute, or I'm sorry, that was 5 minute, 2 minute, and 1 minute. So I'm chilling with that trade. Good loss. On to the next one, $28 long again. This was a 5 minute previous day high and pre-market high breaking retest. Sorry for all the noise, guys. I don't know if you noticed, but I'm not in my normal environment right now. My flight got delayed, so I am filming this at the airport. Anyway, we did have a bearish gap and it was choppy. I knew it was choppy, but I said, let me give this long one more shot. So not the best, but also like I'm kind of fine with it because the setup, 5 minute, 2 minute, and 1 minute reclaim. So like another time that I take that trade, it would go. Anyways, in this situation, it did not. So $28 loss there. This next day is the day that really done boiled me up. I don't even know here. So this first one, a $38 short because slippage, because I'm usually around that $30 mark for risk, but there was just too much slippage. So why did I take a short here? $38 loss on a short, 1 minute break and retest, 2 minute break and retest, and fair value gap. However, it was the wrong position on the 5, and it was a potential reversal area close by. What was it? Maybe a pre-market low? Yeah, pre-market low. I feel like I was trying to front run it again a little bit. I wouldn't say that this was a terrible trade. Like, I won't mark this as something I should have avoided because like there was still, this rejection in this 2 minute gap here, but it was still in a strong uptrend. So I would feel like I was trying to get ahead of the move a little bit again, which every time I try to get ahead of a move, I get owned by the move. So that was the 2 minute. The 1 minute here, again, I took that rejection off of it. Looked fine on the 1 minute, but the 5 minute, completely wrong position. It was trending down, but just the wrong position. I should have possibly waited for this, this right here to get taken out, and then that would show like some more, sellers coming in, but I didn't, and I got I got stopped out. I took one more trade after that. This is the trade that I should have avoided. Yeah, I just entered too early. I wasn't patient enough to wait for the proper signal. I was already kind of pissed off from the first one. It was the 1 minute, 2 minute, 15-minute break and retest, fair value gap. But there was still that same potential reversal area close by. And then, like I said, I took the early entry. On the 1 minute, we were trending down, popped up there. On the 2 minute, we were far away over here. Would have been better over here, but look, even if I took this, I still would have gotten taken out. So it was kind of like a lose-lose situation for me there. And then this one was just like freaking green, completely wrecked red here in that same exact bar that I entered. Yeah, I didn't love this trade. So after this point, this is when my brain kind of went into, I guess, like, I suck mode. And I just started, with the negative self-talk and all this stuff, like questioning if, maybe I am going to just be one of those people that never gets this and it's just at it for freaking 10 years and I just never get it. And am I okay with that? Am I okay just struggling forever? And I think that's obviously not the goal, but a true possibility, right? Like, I feel like I'm getting better, but if I look at like my chart, am I really getting better or am I just like stagnant? Moving on to Thursday. Thursday was a rough morning. Going into the trading day, I was very, like a little stressed. There was a lot going on around the house. It was not calm. And I know, obviously, that does not make for good trading environment to calm the mind and be focused. And it kind of reflects because, I'm not blaming that. Like, I took the trade because I took the trade. However, it's interesting that I took a trade at 9:40 when it's very rare that I take a trade that early. And in this case, it happened to be the day that the morning was not prepared for me. Like, I didn't get to I usually like to get to my desk around like 9:10 so I can check out the markets, see what's going on, see my kind of thesis for the day. And I think I got to the charts like, I don't know, 5-10 minutes before. So I just wasn't ready. And I jumped into this trade, 2 minute, 1 minute, break and retest, and 5 minute. But I didn't wait for the liquidity sweep. I kind of just was in the mindset of I need to stop missing my entries and hesitating on my entries. So when the signal was there, I took it, but I did actually hesitate. So I got a higher fill than I should have if I entered right where I was supposed to enter. Wouldn't have mattered in this situation anyway. I would have gotten stopped out regardless. But yeah, so 2 minute, 1 minute, and 5 minute. But as you can see, this 5 minute candle was just a sweep and got, wreckage down. $28 loss. Oh, I did forget to mention on the Monday losses, the 2 losses. It's interesting that the other 2 days of mine got like a little bit more frustrated because on that Monday when I took those 2 L's, I recognized that it was the first day that I didn't really care too much. I thought they were good trades and I was okay losing and going back the next day to, take the next trade. So it's interesting that I went from that feeling of being okay with the losses to then kind of a little bit of a negative spiral for the next day or two. I was able to catch a short, although obviously I sold too early, but it is what it is. I caught a good trade. It was a 2 minute, 5 minute break and retest in a fair value gap and a 15-minute break and retest. So after I got stopped out here, I realized that I probably was part of that manipulation candle. And then we retested on the 5 minute. This 5 minute sell right here is where I entered, which was also this 2 minute, came back, retested, went down. And then if you look at the 1 minute, it had this guy right here already took this guy out. And then I was like, all right, this could be creating that lower high. So once that guy crossed back below strong, it was also this 15-minute fair value gap that I was waiting to tap into. And once it did, that's when I looked for my entry because it also faked out on that 15 and created an equal high. And I was like, of course, it's going to not tap what I wanted to tap and it's just going to go. But I waited, and then this huge candle is what came up. Once this guy came, tapped in, took out these 2 equal highs right here, and then boom, came up, create the lower high, and that's when we got the move. The target that I exited on was this pre-market level here, That would have been my first exit. I had other exits marked, which obviously all got hit, but I only have one contract that I'm trading with. So unfortunately, I was just all out there. And yeah, hopefully eventually in the future, I can have multiple contracts and try to like ride bar by bar on instances where with like this, where I could have just literally rode the 5-minute bar all the way down and gotten a shit ton of money. But it is what it is. It was a good trade. Brought my day back to green, so I decided to call it a day. I had stuff to do anyway, and that was an 88 and change win. Today, I waited and waited. Volatility was crazy this morning. Bars were huge, and yeah, they were just ripping like $1.50 each direction, so I had to wait. Called out a long that I should have taken, and then I just didn't take it, watched it go. It was fine. And then I entered later in the day, but I exited too early. Fearful trading, not good. Ended up hitting my TP. It was an inverted fair value gap, 200-meter bounce, a trend trade, and a 5-minute break and retest. My issue was the early exit. So right here, I was just following this trend line. Can this go up? Yeah. That's the trend line I was following right there. Got that 5-minute retest. Took that. It was also this 2-minute crossing back over, inverting this fair value gap, tapping into this 2-minute right here. Tapped into this 2-minute right here. Once it came out of that, that was like, all right, I need to look where to enter. Boom on this guy. The 1-minute, I didn't like that it was, which I actually have to put it down here. Wrong position on the 1-minute. Well, actually, no, I did wait for it to get back over, so exit. It was trending down a little bit, but I did wait for it to cross back over. Where I did mess up on this trade, though, is that the only reason I had to exit, or that my call was good to exit, is because once I started seeing these rejections, I was like, all right, this very well might just reject from this level, right? Take this little high and reject. So I decided to shift my stop up to slightly in profit, which when I did that, it brought me right under this point right here. It brought me under there. So because of that, I made the right call by exiting on this candle before I got stopped out for a little bit less. However, if I would have had my original stop, which was down like over here somewhere, I never would have gotten stopped out. I also know that it was due to the fact that I was already so down this week, and just like my mental and everything wasn't all there, so that's why I kind of like just snatched at the money. But I need to come up with a better tactic of like, you know, I don't shift to break even until I get at least a 2-to-1, because if I never would have shifted, and maybe I could have just reduced my risk to this bar, right? I still would have been good, you know, with less risk on the table. And yeah, I basically like choked out the trade that would have hit. I had to try to kind of like tell myself the month isn't too far gone. I mean, I can only trade 2 days next week, which isn't great, but, you know, it's okay. And then I have the whole last week of February. So it's like, I'm only down $25. Am I going to make, you know, $1 million this month? No, I'm not. And that's okay. You know, we just got to do some base hits, get that puppy to green, and lock in a second consecutive green month. I'm trying not to focus too much on the numbers and just focus on taking better quality trades. But yeah, just trying to remind myself that the month isn't gone yet. I still have 7 trading days, I think I have 7 trading days left, and that is plenty of time to make some good progress. You know, I just gotta keep this locked in. Anyway, that's how my week went. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next one. Later.